Please listen carefully.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Wire. I'm your host, Gabriel Hernandez. This is episode 16. Thank you again for downloading, listening. However, you're listening to this, whether you downloaded it on Apple, Google Play, Spotify. I can never remember all of them. There's so many. There's 14. You can listen on YouTube. You can listen on iHeartRadio. What's the other one? Stitcher. There's a few more. I'll think of them. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me again. I appreciate it. I just wanted to drop a podcast. Right now it's Friday, around 5:30 p.m. Pacific time here on the West Coast. As always, this is your first time listening. Thank you for joining us. The rest of the Boxing Wire fans, thank you again for listening, for continuing to listen. We're growing and growing and growing, and that's all thanks to you guys. Please follow me, then the publication on all social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. All you got to do is just look up The Boxing Wire. Very easy, and it'll lead you right to the pages. So subscribe and follow on all of them. Like any content that we put up. I appreciate it so much if you guys take about a minute of your day and do that for me. Especially the podcast part of it. However you're listening right now, at the end of the show, just take about 10 seconds, click the like button, click the subscribe, because when you subscribe, every single episode that comes out will automatically download to your feed. So anytime something pops up, your phone will probably alert you there's a new episode. So when you're driving, exercising, whatever you're doing, taking a walk around the block, and you have a little bit of time you want to listen, just think about checking out your feed, the Boxing Wire feed. Also, thank you guys for supporting our sponsors. I see that some of you have gone out and done the Stars movie channel, that Stars free trial, 7-day free trial. I thank you guys for the ones that signed up for it. That helps out a lot. It brings us, helps keep the lights on in here. I know that's cliche, but it helps keep the lights on. And for those of you who haven't signed up, just remember, go to theboxingwire.com/sponsors. So it's very easy. theboxingwire.com/sponsors. I'll also post the link on the description of this episode. So basically, whatever the topics are in the description, at the end of the description there'll be a link, so you can just click on it straight on to that. And then once you get to the sponsors page, just click on 7-day free trial. It is going to ask you for a method of payment, credit card or PayPal. Don't worry, they don't charge you. It's just for them to verify. They put you like on a monthly thing. So all you got to do, if you don't like it, just cancel on day 6, or be on the safe side, cancel on day 4 or 5, whenever you want. But I have it. I'm gonna pay the $8.99 a month, as I like it. I like the movies on it. So, and I'm also gonna support my sponsors, just the way they're supporting me. Our other sponsor, Touch of Modern, another great website for men. A bunch of cool gadgets, a bunch of grooming supplies, tech things. Just a cool guys, dudes site, and it's all, most of the things that are on there are between 50 to 70% off, which high-end products, 50 to 70% off. Very cool stuff. So please support Touch of Modern. Just go again, theboxingwire.com/sponsors. You'll see the banner ad for Touch of Modern. It's just the letter T. So you see a banner with the letter T, that's Touch of Modern. So just check it out. Do me a favor and at least just click on the link. See if you like anything. Christmas is coming up, so if you want to shop for your dad, your grandpa, your brother, any guy in your life that you care about, your cousins, your uncles, anything. So just check it out. And then lastly, fanatics.com. Thank you to fanatics.com. You guys are clicking, so I appreciate it. I see the clicks to Touch of Modern and Fanatics. So I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you guys checking it out. Same thing. It's basically a sports apparel website. So hats, shirts, jerseys, whatever your favorite sport, whatever your favorite team, you'll find it on there at fanatics.com. And right now they're having a sale, 20% off. So go ahead, and once again, theboxingwire.com sponsors. Click on the banner Fanatics. That'll take you right to the website. Check out what deals they have. If you're a Lakers fan, there's a bunch of Laker gear now that LeBron's there, so you'll like that. If you're a college football fan, they have every single team you could think of. NFL, every single team. NBA, hockey. So just go check it out. Thank you guys for supporting. Please, after you listen, share the episode, and also go to the sponsor page and click and just check it out. That's all I ask. I appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk about this Mayweather Pacquiao 2 rumor. We're also going to talk about Anthony Joshua versus Povetkin. I'm going to give you the weigh-in results that happened earlier today. And we're also going to talk about Deontay Wilder and Fury. And it looks like they may have finally gotten close enough where they're actually going to sign, and they may fight soon. So I'm going to give you an update on that. There's also a ShowBox, the Next Generation card, coming up. I'm also going to talk about DAZN, the new, it's not new, it's been in Europe for many years now. It's a subscription-based sports channel. It has a bunch of sports. They just signed an agreement with Matchroom Boxing, and so they're going to stream a bunch of Anthony Joshua fights. A bunch of boxing is going to be on DAZN. That's spelled DAZN.com. I checked it out. I subscribed to it. They have like a 30-day free trial. So if you want to see that Anthony Joshua fight tomorrow, just go to the site, or just Google DAZN, and of course you'll see an ad pop up, offering that 30-day trial. Click on it. I subscribed, because I want to see the fight, obviously, and obviously because it's my job. And then after that, it's $9.99 a month. But it looks like they have a lot of good content. I mean, they have a bunch of MMA fights coming up, Bellator stuff. So if you're an MMA person, which I am, I'm more of a casual fan, but I love seeing MMA. So check it out if you want to see the fight. And then just remember, guys, because the fight is at Wembley Stadium across the pond in England, that's going to be early. So if you're on the, depending where you're at, Pacific, Mountain, or East, it's going to be 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific. For those of you folks in the middle of America who sit there weird, or if you're in Hawaii, you're going to have to do the math yourself, because I really don't know. So, Hawaii is always a little bit off. The mountain time's a little bit off. So, but 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, U.S. time. And then for those of you overseas, you guys can do the math as far as whatever time the difference you are from England. I know a lot of people from India are listening, a lot of people from Japan and South Korea, Russia. So you guys, the time difference is obviously a little bit closer. So it'll probably be, I'm assuming, early afternoonish for you guys. For us West Coasters out here, it's pretty early. It's 10 a.m. So just go get the free trial if you want to see it. I would recommend it. And then also we're gonna continue a little bit on the Canelo and Triple G decision. I have a few videos that I've just seen throughout the week. I have one from Paulie Malignaggi. I have one from Teddy Atlas, and I have one from Max Kellerman. So I'm gonna play all three, just give my opinion on them. You'll see their opinions, and then my opinion lies kind of in the middle between all three. There's three levels to that. And then also Ring magazine came out with their new pound for pound list, so we're gonna talk about that as well, like the new top 10 pound for pound and who's number one. All right, guys. First off, we'll talk about Mayweather Pacquiao. We'll just get that out of the way. It's really non-news in my opinion. It's sort of, Mayweather's out there in Asia. It seems like he was in Japan the other day in some random event, and he came face to face with Pacquiao, and he was kind of doing the Mayweather thing, kind of P.T. Barney-ish, Trump-ish, trying to get attention, of course, always the master publicity getter. Any publicity is good publicity, as they say, which I think he's trying to do. So he announced on his Instagram that he's going to fight Pacquiao in December. Pacquiao responded that he's ready to go, And then, of course, a day later, Mayweather, I believe it was TMZ Sports, where he says first he's going to take a tuna fight in December, and then he's going to fight Pacquiao probably next year. Pacquiao seems is ready to go. I mean, they're both. I mean, Mayweather's 41, Pacquiao's 39. I mean, we had to wait so long for the first one, and that one was overdue and overdone, and neither guy was at their peak, especially Pacquiao. Now with both guys still, not at their peak anymore, it would be pretty much the same as the first fight, I believe. But you never know. Mayweather's been inactive, but he's had periods of inactivity before, and he's come back and he's still been Mayweather. So, and he looks like he's staying in great shape. But I think just based on Mayweather's Instagram posts and things like that, like he seems like he's doing business out there in Asia. He was in Hong Kong today, and just doing some sponsorship stuff. And I believe this whole, the coincidental thing where he met up with Pacquiao in the middle of this like party or whatever, and he just tried to hype it up and try to get it into the news, and it worked. Cause look, I'm talking about it, and the more people are talking about it, the more people are going to go to his Instagram page and all his social media, and that's going to ultimately help his business dealings that I believe he's trying to do out there in Asia. But I mean, if it does happen, I mean, does anyone really want to see it? Does anyone really want to see this fight, Maypac 2? If you were to ask me right now, I put a gun in my head, I would say we don't really need to see it. Do we? But if they sign and they fight, am I going to watch it? Of course. I mean, it's going to be interesting no matter what. You never know, and use just that whole like, I shouldn't watch, but I gotta see what's going to happen here, kind of feeling. But I'm not. It didn't really get my blood going when I heard about it. It was kind of like, okay, there you go. Both of you want to fight? Alrighty then. Good for you. I'm not going to pay $100. I'll tell you that. You got to give me a 50% discount on that. 2-3 years later, both of you kind of not out of the picture as far as competition. That's my take on it. And then obviously Mayweather saying now, kind of backpedaling, saying he needs a tuna fight in December. He's going to fight in Japan, which I'm assuming is going to be tied to some kind of business stuff that he's doing out there, just trying to expand his brand, which you can't fault him for. I mean, he's trying to make money, but there's also a report allegedly that his losses in 2017 to gambling were about $50 million. So to put that in perspective, his paycheck for the McGregor fight was $100 million. So basically, he lost probably half of that $100 million to taxes, or most of it, maybe 40% to taxes, and then to lose $50 million, in gambling. His bottom line might be coming up a little bit shorter than he'd like to see, which maybe makes me believe that's the reason he may be getting back into the ring, trying to collect another $100 million, because he may be getting a little bit worried that his cash flow is not where he would like, where he feels comfortable. But with the type of lifestyle that he lives, that's going to happen, and that's to be expected. If you're going to be gambling, partying, constantly traveling on private jets, constantly buying expensive things, then best believe you unless you're a big, huge corporation that's continually making money, you're just a person that earns paychecks just like everyone else. But just because your paycheck is humongous, eventually you're going to run out of money if you don't have a steady flow of income coming in, and that's, I believe, what Mayweather's dealing with now. But he is going to have to come up with a financial plan. So he's going to have to call Fidelity, going to have to call one of those. He's going to try to get a money manager, one that start putting that money away, stop gambling it away. Well, that's just my opinion. What do I know? I'm just some broke guy from the San Fernando Valley. Anyways, also today's weights. Joshua Povetkin. Joshua, this is going to be his 22nd fight. He's 21-0 with 20 KOs. Obviously, if you've seen him fight, very fundamentally sound, very, very powerful puncher. He also showed against Vladimir Klitschko that he's got heart. He will get up from the canvas and he will fight back, and there's no quit in him. He's an Olympian, and he's fighting a former Olympian in Povetkin as well. So you got two Olympians. The only difference is they're about, age difference, about 10 years apart. Povetkin's sort of at the end of his, rope here, and then he had those issues maybe 3-4 years ago where he tested positive for banned substance. He was suspended, I believe, for a year. Since coming back, he's been clean. He's won 6 fights in a row, and he earned his way back to the number 1 contender position. And that's why Joshua is fighting this mandatory. I mean, let's be honest. We should be seeing Joshua Wilder. That would have been great. It would have been a great way to end this year. Possibly, like if they would have fought in December. It would have been a great way to end a good year of boxing for 2018. But unfortunately, Joshua decided to go for his mandatory in order to keep his belt. I mean, I believe they could, if they really wanted to fight, they could have worked something out. So that way he could have kept his belt, and he could have tried to get Wilder's WBC, and then he would have obtained all 4, and then he would have been the unified heavyweight champion of the world, which is his ultimate goal. But he's taking his mandatory in Povetkin. If he gets by Povetkin, which I believe he will, hopefully we can get the Wilder Joshua fight sometime in the first quarter of 2019, because that's a fight that I really want to see. Whether Joshua comes here or if Wilder goes over there and fights in front of 90,000 streaming English fans at Wembley, it's going to be quite an event. And Wilder's 39-0 with 38 KOs. You see the type of power he possesses. Very passionate guy, very passionate dude, and he's hungry. And he wants that fight. He's not, he got his start. Jesus Christ, I almost swallowed my tongue there. Sounded like, he got his boxing start a little bit later than most guys. So you would think he's young, but he's not. He's actually coming up on 33 years old. So I mean, he's probably fresh because he didn't have a vast amateur career, but still. He came in raw as a professional, and he gradually got better, and then now he's WBC champ. So, but yeah, time is not on his side. Joshua he's still a young man, 28. So, yeah, let's hope to see that fight early 2019. And I just read about this and heard about it. Supposedly the Wilder Tyson Fury fight is on for December 1st. Yesterday there was a little bit of taunting from the Fury camp to Wilder, saying that he wasn't responding to emails. Magically today they announced that they've signed, and now they're just looking for a venue, and they're aiming for December 1st at the Staples Center, which I hope happens, because obviously I live near the Staples Center, so that'd be great for me. Secondly, because, hey, if we're not going to see Wilder Joshua, the second fight I would like to see is Wilder Fury. I know Fury hasn't been in the game in a while, and I know Fury was almost 400 pounds just about a year ago. I know Fury was highly depressed and maybe doing some illegal drugs, and now he's back. He worked his way back. He got out of his depression. I believe he's clean and sober, which I commend him for, and he's back in there. He looks good. I mean, for what his style is, it seems like he could be competitive, and he's going straight for Wilder. He's not afraid. I mean, he made Vladimir Klitschko. That was one of the most awkward fights I have ever seen. I mean, just his sheer size and length and his weight, and just putting his whole weight and body and jabbing, but he's deceptively quick for a big guy, and he's got such a weird, awkward style. I mean, he's not easy to hit, he's not easy to time, and then he comes out at you with weird angles here and there. So Wilder, it's a good test for him. It's not an easy fight, let's say. Is he gonna lose? Probably not. I think at this point in their careers, Wilder is hitting his peak, his stride. And I think he'll be able to take out Fury, but still, it's so legitimate. The promotional part of it, because Wilder, as we know, likes to talk. He likes to, be a little bit braggadocious, and not in a disrespectful way, just in a marketable way. He's a funny, entertaining guy. And then we all know Fury. He's a little bit out there with the things that he says. So that the press conferences alone, I'm looking forward to. So let's cross our fingers that that fight is actually a done deal for sure. But until we see those contracts signed and until they have the venue date, we don't know yet. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to play a couple videos now. And then, we'll play the videos and I'll tell you what the fight card is for Showtime. And then I'll go over the top 10 list for the ring pound for pound, which is considered, the consensus, the place to go where they're fair and they're kind of balanced in how they rate the fighters and the best fighters in the world, no matter what weight class. So we'll end with that. So first of all, let's start off with the most milder of the three, which is Max Kellerman, and here's Max.
In a division, the middleweight division, that has seen so many great chapters authored between champions who put on shows like this. This is the latest one, and it's a worthy successor to so many that have come before. It was a great fight, better than the original, which is tough to do, and unexpected. We thought that for Triple G to win, and he almost did. I mean, it was a very close fight. He would have to pressure Canelo, put him on the ropes. Didn't do it one time. It was Canelo who was the aggressor. And Triple G, it was disappointing in the sense that he came out tentatively. He didn't show as much aggression. He never went to the body hardly at all. He didn't correct any of the mistakes of the first fight. But he did something even more praiseworthy, in my estimation, than enacting a game plan. He seemed to change his fate at a point where it seemed already to be written. Canelo was fighting his fight. He was authoring the fight that he wanted to author. He was ripping Triple G to the body. Triple G looked old. He was huffing and puffing, gasping for air. And it looked to me like maybe Canelo's on his way to a knockout. And right when it looked as though, look, Triple G can't hurt this guy. He can't outwork this guy. He can land more punches, but they're not the more damaging ones. What's he going to do? Triple G reached another level. He emptied the gas tank, and the gas tank was enough to get him to the end of the fight, and I'll be willing to bet enough to have a lot of people out there saying, I thought Triple G won that fight, or at least it was a draw or a very, very close fight. That was an amazing performance by a 36-year-old fighter who looked beaten and would not accept his fate. I'm disappointed that he won't talk to us because I'm very interested to see what he has to say right now. But congratulations to Canelo Alvarez, who has established himself where at one point people said he's doing it with smoke and mirrors and he's a creation of the hype machine and he's not really the next great Mexican fighter. Oh yes he is, and tonight proves it.
So there you heard Max Kellerman's take on it, which I agree with pretty much everything he had to say there. He's pretty much always on point in my opinion. Pretty level-headed guy. I know at times people think that he's on the HBO payroll and he has to go with the HBO fighter, which is Triple G. He has to be the company man, but I really believe that Max is a straight-up dude. He says what he really feels, what he saw in the fight. And if you listen to last week's episode, you can go back and listen if this is your first time listening. I pretty much had the fight 115-113, Triple G. I know it was a close fight, but I just didn't see Canelo win more rounds. And I watched the fight twice. I'm gonna watch the fight again tomorrow. HBO is gonna replay it. So if you have HBO and you want to have a second look, or if you haven't seen the fight, I believe you can watch it on HBO. And then eventually it'll pop up on their YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it already, take a look at the fight, see what you think. So I watched it once with telecast, and I watched it once without sound. Both times I came out with the same conclusion, 115-113 Triple G. So there you go. Next, I'm going to put a little short interview with Paulie Malignaggi. Another guy opinion I respect. He's a former boxer, obviously former champion, and now he's a analyst on Showtime, on the Showtime crew. And he's a guy who doesn't bite his tongue either. He shares his opinion as he sees it. So let's hear what Paulie had to say.
with you a couple of weeks ago.
Guys don't like the truth, bro. The truth hurts. I know. You can't handle the truth, as Jack Nicholson said in A Few Good Men. Listen, like I said, Canelo did better. It's not like I'm telling you this fight was a wash or anything. I'm just telling you Canelo to win. This is the truth. What I'm going to tell you. If you can't handle the truth, then don't listen to Bully Malachi talk. Because you're just going to get the truth, whether you like it or not. And a lot of you don't like the truth when it comes to many subject matters, I've noticed.
But I think a lot of people on the comments yesterday, we got close to 100,000 views on the clip. A lot of people were saying the term robbery is wrong.
No, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. If it was a draw, it wouldn't have been a robbery. Then if I said a draw is a robbery, then I'd be wrong. You know? No. Canelo winning is a robbery. I'm sorry. Okay? A robbery, in the first fight, a draw was a robbery. In the second fight, Canelo did a little better. A draw wouldn't be a robbery. But Canelo winning is a robbery. I'm sorry, bro. You can't find me 7 rounds the guy won. It's mathematics. You need 7 rounds he has to win this fight. You cannot find me 7 rounds if you're judging by the exact same criteria every round. I'm sorry, you can't do that.
We won't go over it again. You've made it clear.
Yeah, bro, because there's just preconceived notions. Now all of a sudden, because you expected Golovkin to come forward and you expected Canelo to go backwards, now you saw the opposite, and it's like, well, you know what? And Canelo had to have won. No, he didn't win. Watch the fight, bro. It's still boxing. It's not called come forward. It's not called Mexican style. It's not called bang it out. It's not called knockout. It's called boxing. So when it comes to boxing, Golovkin won the fight. His back was.
So that was Paulie, as you can tell, very passionate as always. Like I said, I tend to agree with what he's saying also. I mean, I don't go as far to say as a robbery. The sad truth is when you're a Vegas fighter and you're the A side of a fight and you're bringing in the most revenue for the city, you tend to think that the judging is going to go in a very, very close fight. The judging is going to go your way somehow. Is there a paper trail? Probably not. They would have found it by now. But there's always been something fishy going on in Vegas when it comes to boxing and when it comes to decisions, weird decisions, and it always seems to happen in Vegas. I mean, the town was built by mobsters, and now it's a little bit more corporate-like. But who knows? It's still a shady underground. Boxing, it's a niche sport. It's not mainstream like baseball, NBA, or NFL. It's still a niche sport. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what is being said to the judges, the referees, the commission. Are people getting papered? I have no idea. I wish I did. Anyways, it wasn't. The first one was a little bit more clear that Triple G won, and the draw, in my opinion, was completely wrong. This fight was a little bit closer, so just like Paulie was saying and Max was saying. Canelo did better, so it warrants a closer decision or a draw at the least for Gennady. But in my opinion, it didn't warrant a loss. So lastly, we're gonna hear what another passionate dude, probably the most passionate guy in boxing commentating. He's an entertaining guy, Teddy Atlas, if you know him, former trainer. Most recently, he's been on ESPN Fight Night for a while. He's no longer there, but he was there for many years. And Teddy sometimes is so passionate that his heart gets in the way of his eyes. But one thing's for sure, he knows what he's seeing, and he knows boxing. But sometimes he gets a little too passionate for his own good. So let's hear Teddy. He's just entertaining, just in general. So, all right, here's Teddy.
Marginally bigger guy, obviously Golovkin. This time the smaller guy, Canelo, after 2 failed BED tests, didn't have the help of the BEDs, came in as the smaller guy. The bigger guy, you can either fight by going inside, imposing your bigger body on the guy, or you could decide to fight on the outside and be the taller, longer guy, like Golovkin was, on the outside, using the jab, controlling range, keeping the smaller guy at the end of your jab and pot-shotting him, making the smaller guy take all the chances. And that's exactly what Golovkin did tonight. He fought like the bigger guy, but in a good way, not by imposing his bulk, not by imposing his power, his size that way, but his length, his height, and his jab. He out-jabbed him 1,000,000-1. I don't know what the jab numbers were, but he was controlling the fight with that jab. He found a home with the uppercut. The one thing for the smaller guy that he did, he went to the body. He went to the body on the bigger guy a little bit. You're feeling it. That's right. Watch yourself. He went to the body on the bigger guy more than the bigger guy tried to impose his bigger body on the smaller body of Canelo. At the end of the day, again, two ways to fight big. On the outside, tall, or going inside. Golovkin fought big on the outside, tall, long, used his jab. Hey, he won that fight, okay? Follow the money. I don't give a damn what you say, that it was close to this. Follow the money. There's more money to be made if Canelo wins.
Hold on.
Because he's the pay-per-view king.
May I respond?
Because he has that great Latino audience that's going to make sure that they're going to come to the box office and they're going to make sure that they buy the pay-per-view.
Teddy Atlas.
That's it. Go
Teddy
ahead.
Atlas. I agree with you that Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, should have won this fight. 117. I had it 114, 113, and 1. That's what I had it. 6-5, 6 rounds to 5 rounds with the 6th round even. You have a bigger discrepancy than me. Canelo was the constant
You did
aggressor.
real well.
I thought it was a closer fighter. I thought it was a closer fight
You
than
did
that.
real well in English in school, but not math. Not math.
Excuse me.
Not math.
Okay, not math. I had it 6 rounds to 5 rounds with the 6th round being even. That's what I had, okay? It's 12 rounds. Last time I checked, 6, 5, and 1 equals 12. 12 rounds, I got a 6, 5, 1. Okay? I don't have a 117, 112. I don't know where you get that from. It wasn't a completely lopsided contest. It was competitive. Canelo was a constant aggressor. He connected on enough counted shots. He connected on enough shots, period. I'm just saying it was close, but Triple G should have won.
Do you believe in jabs? Jabs don't count in your world. Jabs don't count. All right, jabs don't count. You know what? Make it a closer fight. Because my man here, you know, and I love him, so he doesn't think jabs count. And he doesn't think that control range counts. He doesn't think that keeping a man at the end of your punches and making sure you punch out and you make him earn his way in and you charge him for the real estate. Every time Canelo tried to make real estate, the shorter guy, the smaller guy, to get in, guess what? Golovkin was like a real estate man. He charged him for real estate. He charged him 3 punches for every foot that he tried to get in. At the end of the day, that guy, in my book, is the winner.
Wow, so that was Teddy Atlas. If you've never heard Teddy Atlas, then you're probably not a 100% boxing fan, but everybody knows Teddy. He's just like a real life Mick from Rocky. Super passionate. Keep it on the end of your jab. You know why he hasn't been cast in the newer Rocky movies, I don't know. He could do what he's doing there. Creed. Hey, come on, Balboa. Why don't you cast him for Creed 2? Not Balboa. What's his real name? Sylvester Stallone. There you go. Sly Stallone. Why aren't you casting Teddy in your movies? Guy deserves it, man. But he's very passionate. I love Teddy. All right. So lastly, guys, I'm gonna tell you the fights on Showtime. If you're listening to this after September 21st, just go back to Showtime. They always have a replay for you. The main event is John Fernandez versus Oshakwi Foster. It's a junior lightweight bout. John Fernandez has been very impressive looking prospect, so check it out. It's a triple header. Co-main event is Irvin Gonzalez Jr. versus Carlos Ramos. That's an 8-round featherweight fight. And then the opening bout of the telecast is going to be Wesley Ferrer versus Steven Ortiz. That's an 8-round lightweight fight. So Showbox, the next generation, it's always younger fighters. They're not known, but these could be the next superstars in the next 3 or 4 years. So it's always good to watch them coming up, and you can look back and remember. Oh yeah, I remember him from Showtime. Now he's fighting. Now he's one of the top pound for pound, which leads me to that list. Just came out this week. The Ring magazine's been around forever. They're a respected publication in terms of when it comes to rankings. There's a Ring Belt magazine. There's a Ring Belt. So it basically makes you a lineal champion of a division, making you that top fighter. So we'll start from 10, and then we'll work our way backwards to number 1. So number 10, they have Donnie Nietes of the Philippines. He just fought a couple weeks ago at the Superfly 3 fight Superfight 3 card, which I covered. So you guys can check out the boxingwire.com for that coverage. Donnie Nietes looks good. I mean, he's getting up there in age, but he's won 41 times. He's 41 times. One loss. He has 5 draws, 23 KOs. I mean, he's always and it seems like he's gotten more dominant in the last year. His last 4 fights, he's just become a more dominant fighter. So he sneaks in there at number 10. Number 9, you have the Truth, Errol Spence Jr. He's an IBF welterweight champ. He's 24-0 with 21 KOs. He's been on the list for over a year now. Nietes has been on the list for about 4 months, just to give you some background on that. Number 8, you got Sirasuket Sorungvasai from Thailand. He's the gentleman that defeated Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez 2 times in a row, just before Roman Chocolatito's victory last week. First fight was a close decision win. The second fight, he left no doubt in the minds of anyone that he's the better fighter at that weight, and he just demolished. He went right through Chocolatito. He's been on the list for a year now. He's 46 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 41 KOs. He's sort of a guy, I guess, because he's been fighting in Asia for a while, that he was unknown when he made his debut here and against Chocolatito. And when did he ever make a debut? Now he's number 8 on the ring pound for pound boxing list. Number 7 is Naoya Inoue from Japan. He's 16-0 with 14 KOs. Not very much known here in the U.S. Obviously, Japan, a big boxing country. They love boxing. They love their boxing fighters. They support them very much so. And Inoue, I mean, in the 3 or 4 fights that I've seen, he's the real deal. A really skilled fighter, very powerful puncher. He's been on the list over a year now, just over a year. At number 6, you have Mikey Garcia, 39-0 with 30 KOs. He's been on the list for over a year as well now. Mikey's definitely earned his spot there. 4 weight division champion. Went up to 140, came back to 135. Definitively beat Robert Easter at 135. Now he's targeting Errol Spence, who's number 9. So, I mean, you want to see the number 6 guy versus the number 9 guy? Hey, why not? But what Mikey needs to know, he's more of a 135, 140 guy. He's moving up to 147, and Spence regularly spars with bigger guys. I know that really doesn't matter if you have the skill. So, but that's a fight I'd love to see. Number 5 is Alexander Usyk. This guy from Ukraine, man, he's just a machine. He's a punisher. 15-0, 11 KOs. He's been on the list for about 4 months, just kind of breaking into the scene. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a lot more of him coming up next year. Now that he's on number 5, hopefully we get to see him here in the States a little bit more. Number 4, the Kazakh from Kazakhstan, Gennady Golovkin, Triple G. As you all know, he's 38-1, 34 KOs, the 1 loss to Canelo, and the 1 draw to Canelo. But Triple G, in my opinion, should be 40-0 right now. Both of those fights I had him winning, but he's been on the list for over 3 years now, coming up on 4 years now, and he's probably been in the top 5, I would say, the last 2 to 3 years consistently, even always in the top 5. Number 3, Canelo moves his way up to number 3 because he finally got the win over Triple G, a legitimate pound for pound person. Even though in the eyes of many, he deserved at the most to draw. He's still a great fighter. He's still very young. Still has a lot of to offer and a lot of great fights in him, I believe. So congratulations to him. Number 3. Number 2, they got Terrence Crawford. He's been on the list now for about 3.5 years. Most notably, the last year and a half, people been talking about him as the top fighter with top fighter with Gennady, and Gennady now moves down a couple notches to 4. Terrence Crawford moves up to number 2, and that leaves us with number 1, Vasyl Lomachenko. He's 11-1 with 9 KOs. We all know Vasyl. Very impressive fighter. He's the ring champion, WBA lightweight champion, WBO junior lightweight champion, and just an all-around impressive fighter, man. He's just a fun fighter to watch. He's recovered from his shoulder injury, and we'll be seeing him fight. Hopefully, seeing him fight soon. Even with the injury and the inactivity, he's still number one, and I can't really argue with that. To be honest, I believe he is number one. Just his style, and he's at his peak right now, physically, and the way he's able to just land punches from every single angle possible, with the speed and the accuracy and his timing, and his ability to avoid punching at the same time while being aggressive. He definitely deserves that number one spot. So congratulations to Vasil Lomachenko. And all right, guys. So that was episode 16. Please share once again. Thank you so much. Especially if you're listening on an Apple, please share and rate there. They're very, very, very strict as far as how you move up on the charts there. So I really need you guys' support. Just click on the rate 5 stars, hopefully. And subscribe, obviously, on any platform you're listening. Subscribe. That really helps. And like I said, every episode, which I try to do 2 or 3 a week, depending on what's going on, they'll be in your feed, and the episodes will be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what's going on. Like I said, you have a long commute in your car or on the metro or the subway, or if you're walking, just pop in your headset, your headphones, your freaking Beats by Dre or whatever, and just listen to the pod. I appreciate your support. The Boxing Wire on all social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. What is left? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Jesus, my brain went. It seems like I'm the one that takes punches for a living. Anyways, just follow me. YouTube was the one I was thinking of. My YouTube channel. Check that out. There's a lot of new videos coming up. I'm going to be covering the Victor Ortiz Jr. versus John Molina. I'm sorry, Victor Ortiz versus John Molina Jr. fight next Sunday, September 30th in Ontario, California. That's going to be at the Citizens Bank Arena. Both guys are at a crossroads in their career, but should be an interesting, fun fight. So check out next week's episode. I'm probably going to be doing some fight week coverage from there, and I'm probably going to have some content on my YouTube, and I'm also probably going to have a podcast based on that fight, since I will be covering it. And lastly, support Touch of Modern. Great stuff for men, great products. touchofmodern.com and fanatics.com, all the sports apparel you can think of in one site, fanatics.com. And Stars, the channel Stars, they have a 7-day free trial. Go to the boxingwire.com/sponsors. Very easy. theboxingwire.com/sponsors. Please get that free trial. That's the easiest thing you could do. That's the best thing you could do to help out this podcast grow. And if you need any sports apparel, like I said, start doing your Christmas shopping. Christmas is only 3 months away, guys. So start looking on those websites for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. God bless. And remember, guys, keep fighting.